Welcome in, guys. James Philips here with Coach Philip Bailey for the Coach Bailey Show. Coach Bailey, we get to talk about an interesting game from last week. Not a win, but still it was I think, showed that we're in the right direction.
We are, yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, it was a hard-fought game. It was a one-score game at halftime.
Against Pennsylvania. This team's won 3 out of the last 4 state championships.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. It was a game that I don't think many people, outside of our building would have given us much of a chance at all in that game. And we hung in there, man. One-score game at halftime, and we had our chances. I mean, I think we left some things out there. Offensively, we had a goal line stand. Our defense did. They ended up giving them that touchdown on 4th down, a call that, could have gone either way. But we had our chances, man. Final ended up being 49-27, so they pulled away a little bit late. But, I mean, and we've said it at other times this year, but I am proud of the effort of our kids, man. I mean, pretty well outmatched, pretty well outgunned, but they stood in there and fought, man. And like I said, we had our chances, so proud of their effort. But, yeah, we're getting there, man. We are.
Talk about some of the individuals who played well. I mean, you had Trayvon came out again, and, he's just been incredible for what? 3 weeks, 4 weeks now?
Yeah, Trayvon Stewart is playing at an extremely high level right now. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher in this region, which is pretty sporty, man.
Right.
So you go back, he went for like 180 against Jackson Olin, went for like 280 against Mortimer Jordan, and then he went for 230 against Penson Valley. Now, I mean, they got a defensive end, outside linebacker that's committed to SEC, going to Vanderbilt. Got a safety, just got offered by Penn State. Corners have all. I mean, they got some players out there now. And he went for about 230. I thought the offensive line played well. But his vision is really good right now, man. He's making good cuts. He's running hard. So happy for him, man. Pleased for him. He's really turned it on. He's doing a great job for us.
Talk about that offensive line to be able to stand up against a team like Penson Valley. That's quite a statement.
It is, man. It is. So, man, really proud of them. They're doing a good job. And we've had some guys get hurt down the stretch, man, and we've had to move some pieces around. Jackson Blackwell had season-ending knee surgery. That was actually the day that we played Mortimer Jordan. So, Luke Skelton had to step back in at left tackle. He was a kid that played offensive line last year and then had to play defense, most of this year. And he came back over. And I really can't say enough about him, man. He stepped back in there like he hadn't missed a beat. I mean, he knew everything, knew all the calls, knew what to do. I mean, I can't say enough about that kid and what that meant to the offensive line and the offense as a whole, that he was able to just step back in and not miss a beat at left tackle.
Right.
So Colin's done a really good job for us. Colin actually went down during that Penson Valley game. Taylor Eads had to step in and play. He's a guy that you hadn't seen out there for us a lot. But he played 35, 40 snaps in that Penson Valley game and did a fine job, which, really his first varsity, live bullets flying in a game like that. To step in, he did a good job. So Dalton Dawkins at center. He's really played well these past 3 or 4 weeks. I think his grades, he graded out maybe like 88% against Penson, which is pretty strong, man. So he's a bell cow for us. He's got some offers to play on Saturday, and he's a good one, man. He's a good one. Makes all the calls, IDs the fronts, he calls the mics, says protections, all of those type things.
Right.
So he does a good job. Drake Britt has stepped in for us at right guard. He started the Mortimer Jordan game as well. He's a 10th grader, man. So he's really coming on. These are very valuable game reps for him and his development down the road. But he stepped in, and he's doing a good job for us, man. Caden Mormon at right tackle. Pops is what we call him. Pops has only played 2 years of football in his life. But you look at the development, the growth that he's made from last year to where he's at this year. He has turned himself into a fine football player, man. He's just a good kid, man. He's a pleasure to be around, and we're glad to have him. So that O-line's doing a good job. And then along with Jody Hester, man, what he does at H-back and also at tight end for us, he's a big part of that run game as well. And then I mentioned Trayvon and the vision that he's running with. So all of them kind of working together. They've done a really good job these past few weeks, man. We're glad to have them.
And you had some explosive plays this time as well. Kevon had a good game.
Yeah, Kevon had 6 for over 100 yards. He had a big touchdown catch right there at the end of the first half on a corner ball, a sprint out corner ball that he caught in the back of the end zone. That was a really good catch. And then he got loose a little bit, on some fast screens. So, yeah, man, he's certainly a weapon for us.
And in the first half, it was 28-20, is that right?
28-20 at halftime, yeah.
And, that says a lot for people who weren't there to show that y'all were right into the game.
It was a one-score game at halftime, man. We got the ball to start the second half, drove down the field, ended up getting a field goal blocked right there. I should have called a better play on third down. That's my fault. I should have been a better coach right there. But anyway, we got the field goal blocks. But even if we make that, we cut it to 28-23. It's a 5-point game, and off we go in the second half, man. And we had some other chances. We stalled. We gave away 2 or 3 red zone opportunities in the second half, man, which is disappointing, because we moved the ball well all night, man, and we weren't far. We were a few plays here and there. We wasn't far from being able to score with them, back and forth in a game that rocks on like that. So, yeah, kind of ran out of steam there in the fourth, but we certainly had our chances, man.
Well, now we move forward to the last game of the season.
Yeah, Bessemer City.
It's been moved to a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm. Be Thursday night at Bessemer City.
At Bessemer City. Last year, this was a blowout win for Jasper. And Bessemer City hasn't picked up a win yet this year. So how do you keep the kids focused, thinking this might be an easy one?
No, there's no easy ones, man. If we're playing a football game, it matters. If I'm coaching a football game, it matters. It's not about who we play, it's about who we are. That's the same message that I told them when we played Clay Chapel. Right. That's the same message I'm going to tell them when we play Bessemer City. It's not about who we play, it's about who we are. It's about doing things the right way. So we got a bunch of seniors, and for most of them, this will be the last football game they ever play in their life. Right. The last time you get to put on helmet, shoulder pads. And that's part of why football is different too, man. Like if you play basketball, me and the staff right now, we'll go play pickup basketball games. I can still get out there and play basketball. Now, it may be different than being on the high school team, but I can still go play basketball. When you get our age, we're not going out there and putting on helmet, shoulder pads, tackling each other. Maybe Jeffrey is, but I'm not doing that anymore. But, I mean, once they close the book on you playing football, that's it. You don't get any more opportunities to go back. So these kids have done a good job, man. They've worked. They've continued to get better all year. We've been doing this for 10, 11, 12 weeks. I guess you go back to the start of camp, however long that's been. I mean, we got one more week, and they need to finish it the right way. They need to do it for the seniors. The underclassmen need to do it as far as our program and building positive momentum going into the off season. It's very important that we finish strong, finish well, and finish the right way, and that's what I've told them all week.
Well, I know 500 is not the way you ever want to end a season, but 500 is better than some endings. And how big is it for this team in particular, with all the changes they've had, everything they've gone through, being in this region and that sort of thing, and even the non-region games? There were no gimmies on the schedule. No. To finish 5-5 this year, that would be a huge statement, I think, for the program, really.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's one of those things, and you kind of alluded to it. I mean, ain't nobody hanging any banners up for going 5-5, and that's certainly not the record that we aspire to. But if you dig a little deeper in it, man, and you look at our kids and you look at what the hand that they've been dealt and what they've been asked to do. I've been a part of conference championship teams that did not overachieve to the level that this team has. Right. And that's real life. Yeah. Beating Mars Hill. Mars Hill's lost 3 games in 2 years, and 2 of them have been to Jasper. They're probably about to win another state championship. Right. Beating Coleman. Coleman just finished up 7-3. They're a playoff team in that North 6A region. That's a huge rivalry win for us. Beating Demopolis at homecoming. Demopolis is a really strong program, man. They're probably gonna make a run in 5A. Beating Mortimer Jordan, man. That's turned into a rivalry game for us. Community that's like ours, a school system that's like ours, a team that was like us and had a ton of success in 5A, and then just fighting the fight every day. And this 6A slate, us and Mojo being in the same region. So need to finish it the right way. Need to go beat Bessemer City, need to go play well in that game, and then to get to 5-5. It does, man. I think it does say a lot about our kids. We got blown out one time this year, and that was against Clay Chapel. We're certainly not the only people that got blown out against Clay Chapel. But we were in a lot of games that most people wouldn't have given us any chance at all to be in, right there in a dogfight with J.O. and a dogfight with Pinson Valley, man. Had our chances against Minor, but that's a good team with a bunch of good athletes, man. So the road that these kids were asked to walk, and as hard as they fought in the games that they've been able to win, and the games that they've been able to be in, and nobody would have given them a chance, would have thought they would have got beat by 60. I'm proud of these kids and what they did, and I think Jasper ought to be proud of these kids and what they did.
Oh, I think definitely so. And people probably get tired of the last 2 years talking about how tough this region is and things like that, but if they just dig into it a little bit, just look at 6A and look at those regions. If Jasper's in any other region, they're in the playoffs.
I think that's probably a fair statement. I mean, you never really know, but I mean, I think that's probably a fair statement. I mean, if you look at some common scores of us and other people, this region is as tough as it gets, man. Talking to the other coaches in this region, they're like, "Welcome to the SEC,"
right.
But there ain't no doubt about it, man. So, and Jasper being one of the smaller 6As in the state and playing some of the bigger ones, especially Metro Birmingham, it's not been an easy road to walk, man. But our kids have stood in there and fought.
Yeah, you definitely should be proud of the kids and your coaching staff and everybody as far as that goes. Now, we did mention it's on the road Thursday night. Don't forget, Thursday night game, not Friday night, at Bessemer City. I would love to see more Jasper fans than Bessemer City fans, which I think probably will happen.
It very well could. We had that when we went to Jackson Olin, man. I think our fans outnumbered there. So Jasper people always travel. Need them to do it one more time. Have us a big showing on the road, have a big crowd there. I think it'd be a good way to finish our season for these guys.
Need everybody to turn out. These kids have worked hard. It's been a long season. Go turn out and show up for not just the football team and the coaches, show up for the cheerleaders.
That's right. Everybody, man.
Everybody involved.
There's a lot of kids put in a lot of work.
It's what's the percentage of kids on Friday nights that are involved? Counting everything, it's like 70% of the student body or something's involved.
Maybe. I don't know that number off the top of my head, but I know there's a lot of kids that put in a lot of work to make the game day experience what it is. And you mentioned that, not only the football players, but the athletic training staff, the cheerleaders, the band, ROTC is involved in home games. But there's a lot of students that put in a lot of work to make that game day experience what it is. So definitely come out and support all of them.
And then there's even some that are just show up as fans that help the team as much as anybody.
Absolutely, man. Fans can affect the game. There's no doubt.
Pretty good
they can affect the football game, no doubt about it.
Well, Coach, anything else you got for this week?
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate Jeffrey. Appreciate you, James. I'm glad your foot is on the mend back here with us. Just
getting there.
Gutting it out. You're getting there. You're getting there. So appreciate you guys, man. Go Vikes.
Go Vikes. We'll see you next week.